As you mentioned, BK Securities started business in 2013. That's when there was a second, that when the local bourse started to have more transactions. So we felt as a financial institution that we need to provide these services. As you know, you need a market intermediary for you to have access to the stock exchange. 6 years down the line, there's a lot that has happened in the market in terms of reforms, regulatory reforms, legal reforms, but also the market has grown. So we thought the management and the board of BK Group thought that it's time to revamp the activities, introduce new products. Therefore, we had to change the name because BK Capital, the name Capital is more broader than just limiting to securities.
Yeah. Right. We understand that this is also a joint venture with Swan Group of Mauritius. What are they bringing to the desk?
So we, in developing the strategy and the plan, we felt that we needed to onboard a strategic partner, somebody who has the know-how and the experience in a more advanced market, because yes, the Rwandan market has grown, but the capital market still need a lot of deepening. So it's always good not to reinvent the wheel. You need somebody who has done it elsewhere before, will bring a lot of know-how to know where to tap the opportunities and also pass on the skills.
So is this some sort of shareholding in the company?
Yes.
And if yes, what stake are they holding currently?
We are still finalizing, so I will not be able to disclose that, but very soon we will be able to publish exactly what percentage, but that's a minority stake. BK Group remains the majority stakeholder. But the most important thing here is really the partnership in terms of upskilling, bringing in value in terms of know-how, because you know the business of investment is not really capital intensive, it's really skills. We're selling skills.
Right.
Yeah.
You're denying me to learn about that share bit, but we'll get back to that. Just currently, we've had a few conversations, of course, with the Capital Markets Authority, and we've looked at the Rwanda Stock Exchange, where you see investment from local business owners or individuals from Rwanda is currently low if you compare to other markets like Nairobi. Speak to me from that angle. How does BK Capital step in increasing that perspective?
There's a lot of public awareness that is needed.
Right.
That's one, because for you to have a growing capital market from the local investors, they need to know what is the capital market. We already do, and other stakeholders, also government, but also market players do that. We inform the market, but we want to strengthen that and really do a lot more talk shows and a lot more public awareness so that we have people understand the benefits of the capital market and also the benefit together with the incentives, together with the awareness that the government do on the market around promoting savings.
Right.
So we still have a very low saving culture, so that is changing. So that is the right time for us to really bring more on the table in terms of products, but also educating.
Carine, I want you to sell this to me. Why would I buy stocks rather than buying real estate, property? Speak to me from that angle. Why would someone right now go to the bourses and invest into stock markets instead of buying property?
There's many benefits, of course. You first have tax incentives.
Right.
As you know, when you receive dividend as an investor on the bourse, you're not charged 15% withholding tax. You only charge 5% withholding tax. That's already a tax incentive that incentivizes you to invest in the local bourse. But also, you are having access to very good performing companies that not only give you high return on your investment, but also the value of the business grow. The Rwandan economy has been growing around 7 to 8% over the past years. You have a lot of businesses.
We just got new numbers, 8.6% growth for the
yes.
GDP. Yeah.
So you have a lot of, especially blue chip that goes to the bourse that grow above single digit. So you are able to participate in that growth and be wealthy.
All right. We saw Bank of Kigali just the other day in last year, of course. I'm saying the other day like it was yesterday. floating the stock exchange with millions of new shares, of course, ahead of the launching or cross-listing to the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Currently, what are we looking at? How are the markets performing in Nairobi for you?
I think over the past month, we've seen a big block of trading. The purpose was mostly to increase the liquidity because the Nairobi Stock Exchange has more transaction on the bourse. So we are saying that I think the effect will not be overnight, but the fact that you already have kind of a lot of tradings happening on the bourse in Nairobi is giving a good message that it was not a wrong move. It's actually a good move because it opens door to more investors that are not locally here in Rwanda.
Right. And back to that GDP number that we were talking about, we saw today the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda releasing the new numbers for 2018 and, of course, Q4 a little bit. And we saw the financial sector growing by about 12%. But I want to hear more from your end as BK Group, but also, well, BK Capital, the newborn to the group. How has the financial sector, more on the BK side, however, been of a contribution to the national economy? And are we seeing a growing trend on that?
Of course, there's still a growing trend because if you look at the embanked population, it keeps increasing, though we still have a large number. But today, banking is not a mystery like 10 years back. So that brings a lot of growth for the banking sector because not only you have more, the base is bigger, but you're able to cross-sell more products because the base is bigger, and also the fact that having a young population also helps because as they grow, they start working, they start opening bank accounts, and I think this is, we not expect the financial sector to stop growing. I think it's one of the largest key drivers of the Rwandan economy.
I want to quote Mark, the chairman of the group, BK Group PLC. He said that Rwanda needs to create more transformational and impactful investments. And this is something that BK Capital is to provide. As the MD, what did you make of that? And how are you going to go about it?
If you look at the different forms of financing today for businesses, you have most likely, if you ask a business, how do you finance yourself? They'll tell you, said I go to the bank or ask for somebody to give me money and then I'll repay, or borrow from a friend. And this is something that we want to change, not to change, but we want to contribute to that because there's more form of financing today. You can access financing through private equity. You can have people that are willing. We already have a lot of appetite for Rwanda from the international scene. You have a lot of international investors that come here in Rwanda to say, I'm looking for business opportunities, I'm looking to invest in different sectors. And until you have a conduit, a vehicle that is in place on the ground to prepare the transaction and present to the investors ready transactions, then you will not be able to benefit from the inflows that can come. So I think what the first step is we want to tell the markets that we want to support the economy, the businesses, but the project also in terms of reaching out to new form of financing that is not the normal going to the bank for a loan.